Good morning and welcome to today's video, which will be about how to trust even though that we cannot see. So in spirituality, it is all about that we trust what we not necessarily can see any evidence of. In spirituality, it is all about going with the spirit, and the spirit is not something tangible like the physical body, for example. The spirit is what you can sense. It is what calls you. It is the thing that tells you what is wrong and what is right. It is your gut feeling. It is not visible to the physical eyes. And the reason why so many people are unhappy, as I see it, is because we have lost ourselves to the physical world. So we think that what is real is what we can see and not what we can feel or sense. And when I say feel, I don't mean like our feelings in the sense that we are driven by all kinds of different things. That is not truly us. I mean the true sense, the sense of the spirit, the God that lives within us. So when we lose contact with that side, the side that is truly us, that is when we actually lose contact with ourselves. And that is when we get unhappy. So the whole game about this thing with spirituality is to dare to follow what we cannot see, but that we trust our inner guidance system despite of no physical evidence. We just go with what we know is right and what we know we would have wanted to do if we were about to take our last breath. What would you regret that you knew you should have done or followed if you had like limited time to live? You can always ask yourself that one question. What would I regret that I haven't done if I have a limited amount of time? Because deep down we all know what the right path is. Deep down we all know what is wrong and what is right. But that just because we know what is wrong and what is right doesn't mean that it's always comfortable, or that it doesn't, or that it will not have any consequences in the outside. Every choice has a consequence no matter what. Also, if we choose to not follow our gut, which is the spirit, then that too will also have a consequence. So we just have to be honest towards ourselves and really dare to ask ourselves the questions. If we are willing to pay the price of not following what we know is right. Do we really think it's worth it to be more comfortable than to follow what we know is right, even though that it takes an extra effort, you know? And I have been in this circle so many times in my life, because it is not the comfortable way, the way that my spirit wants me to go. So, but I've always come back to the same answer, that I will not get happy if I don't follow my spirit. So I'd rather go the uncomfortable way than the comfortable, because the comfortable way is not that comfortable that I actually think. And it has a huge price to pay. And personally, I'm not willing to pay that. I cannot do that. I have too much anxiety to do that. I feel very bad when I go against what I know is the right path for me. And when I say go against, sometimes we can think that when we go against something, it has to be this huge thing. It doesn't have to be that. It can be that you choose to work in a career that you know you're not meant to, even though that it brings you a good income. Deep inside that that is not the right place to be. So it can look good at the surface and still be wrong for us. And yeah, only you knows what's the right path for you. And sometimes we don't know the whole path. Sometimes we only know like this next step. And that is enough. Because all we have in the end is what we have in front of us in the now. And the now will determine what will come later. You know? And then we just need to surrender the rest. So when we choose to trust despite we cannot see, that is where true faith is built. You know, faith does not come by itself just from the blue sky. Faith comes because we choose to have faith, even though we don't really have it, but we have as much faith as we need to actually follow through in our actions with what we know is right. So, yeah. Okay. I love you and I wish you a beautiful day. Bye for now.